I would say that the best book I've ever written is Perilous Times, Free Speech in Wartime, which is a very rich history of the evolution of First Amendment jurisprudence in our country. And one of the things it does is to make people aware of the fact that the state of free speech today is not what it was in the past, and that it's important to be aware of that. And as I said, it won lots of national awards, so other people thought it was very good as well. But I would guess that's probably my single greatest accomplishment in terms of writing a book. Another book a real book that Lee Bollinger and I published recently is on the issue of affirmative action. And we we both are strong supporters of affirmative action, and we're concerned that the current Supreme Court, would do what it ultimately, in fact, did do in the UNC case. And so this book, which was published several months before the court decided that case, made the argument similar to the ones that the justices had made for almost half a century up until that decision, that affirmative action is constitutional, that it is essential, and that benefiting those individuals and citizens of our society whose groups have been the victims of a history of long and often terrible discrimination is a legitimate thing for a society to do. And unfortunately, the majority of the justices in that case rejected all of the precedents and rejected the arguments that we put forth, and essentially held that affirmative action was unconstitutional. And but the whole point of that book was to present the opposing point of view, and the dissenters cited it a number of times, but unfortunately, it was only the dissenters. I often ask myself, why do I keep working on books? What's the point? And I think it's mainly because I believe that I'm in a position, particularly books that have essays by other people, that I'm in a position of being well known to attract others who are also important and well known to agree to write essays about important subjects. And so in the last several years, most of my scholarship has been along those lines. It's been mainly with Lee Bollinger, the president of Columbia University, who was a law clerk with me at the Supreme Court that same year. And we've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 books like this already. And the idea of it is to basically bring together terrific scholars and lawyers and historians and political scientists and others to contribute essays addressing highly complicated and important issues in our society. I honestly don't think at this point in my career I'm likely to be a terrific original scholar. I think I'm kind of past that point.